Welcome. It's so lovely to have you here with me, developing this practice, building all of our lovely uh, trail of yoga that's been behind us and ahead of us. So let's get aligned today. Let's shift some tides in the body, adjust the tides, and just feel the joy of the mind, body, spirit. So let's take a seat to begin with. As with this entire practice, if you want to adjust your position somehow, if you want to sit on a chair or lie down for the first part of practice and adapt, please take care of your injuries and any concerns you have for your body and customize. So let's begin seated. And we'll just come into the breath, come into the presence. So you use the eyes to look around the room, just get the eyes moving as well, and those muscles toned a bit, looking around and up and down and side to side, just taking in with a neutral gaze what is around you, and have that be incorporated into your practice and the what is in what's around you. Inhale and exhale. Feel our skeleton, feel the structure. We'll be going deep within the structure today to visit that area of the Quadratus Lumborum, which connects the ribs to the pelvis, a very important set of muscles for stability in our posture. Deep within, it can take some strain, so let's try to get that adjusted. We'll take that seat, feel the sits bones as your anchor to wherever you're seated with a cushion or a seat, and feel that lovely graceful pelvis tilt slightly forward so we feel the curve in our low back. Let's warm the hands together and just feel creating our own warmth in these winter days. And take those warm hands to the base of your back so that you feel that low back in your hands. If it's feeling flat and pointed towards the floor, then perhaps you want to tilt forward a little bit, not too much. You can even go forward a little too much to see what that feels like, and then back off into your hands, feeling the warmth and the support. We don't often get to visit our back body and give it this support, so yoga is a great opportunity. Continue this breath. And then take your hands and put them on your hips, on the sides of the hips here, with the elbows out to the side. Inhale, and see if you can inhale. See if you can just visualize breathing into your hands. So we're at the base of the spine, in the center of our pelvis. Energetic expansion into your hands, and exhale. Feel that drawing inwards in towards the center of the pelvis, sending that energy upward. So let's take our mind's eye. We can close the eyes and take our awareness to the base there. And when you inhale, just notice in your hands, you're feeling an energetic, not necessarily physically in your hands, just an energetic expansion towards the hands. And as you exhale, a drawing in of the center of the pelvis, that pelvic floor. And notice you can send that energy upward to feed new, renewing energy into the body. Now, with your mind's eye on that base of the pelvis, we're going to stack the building blocks together. So we are going to roll on up the spine in our mind's eye. Just take a trip up to the base of our ribs, and your hands will slide up to the base of your ribs on the side, or on, just hold the fingers in front and the thumbs in the back. Giving yourself a hand hug here. We're going to travel up and inhale into the hands, feeling the expansion of the ribs into the hands, and then exhaling again, drawing into the center. But let's pull that extra energy up from the earth, from the pelvic floor as well. But let's make sure those two little hammocks of energy are aligned on top of each other. And as you exhale, see if you can tuck the low ribs in just a little bit towards the back body. Do you feel the muscle in your hand and your fingers? You can feel those abdominal muscles engaging. So it goes even deeper than that, into those deeper muscles, longer muscles that support us. That's why we're going to lengthen today. As you take your next breath, inhale, let's take the thumbs to the armpits. So just lift up through the fingers up towards the sky. You can keep the eyes closed or open up, just feeling that lifting. So we're creating space in the spine here. And then take the hands, cross them over each other, length of thumbs. We're just doing bird wings, bird hands over our chest. So marking that territory that is the base of our neck and throat. So as you inhale, feel that breath. You'll automatically feel that physically in your hands. And exhaling, feel again that drawing in towards the center of your neck. And then as you inhale again, send it down to the pelvis, through the diaphragm, and then back on up through the center of all of those three supportive energy centers, supporting our posture. And then we can take the hands to the side of the neck and just feel your hand gently on the side of the neck, just so we feel that alignment. Inhale and exhale, drawing in from the earth on upward. Now let's take the hands to the crown of the head. Just feeling that energy. You can take fingertips or both hands stacked on top of each other, elbows out to the side. Inhale, exhale, roll your shoulders away from the ears. So when we stack those energy points and energy areas, really, we're supporting our posture. Rise up through the arms, next to the ears, keeping the eyes closed. Let's lift those shoulders towards the ears. Inhale, exhale, draw them away from the ears and hug into the midline. Beautiful. Let's roll those, flutter those eyes open. And notice just if the room looks any different, you feel energetic difference from having engaged this deeper breath and lengthening the side bodies. Let's take our right hand and grab that left wrist. So we're steadying our hips here. We're going to take tides that are going to, we're going to change the tides in the body, but we're going to change them to just slight tides. We're not going to go king tide here. We're just going to go slight. So inhale, feel that anchor of your hips. Keep that anchor steady, and we're just going to take the ribs and go on over towards the right side, supporting the lift with your right hand on the left wrist. The right hand, left wrist, just feel that line from the anchored left hip, opening up through the ribs and the neck. Come on back up, inhale. Exhale, find that center brightness and take your left hand to the right wrist and lean on over. Exhale to the left, anchoring through the right hip. So really feel that steadiness of the hips. And it's the upper spine, so the mid and upper spine that we're stretching here. Come on back up to center. Let's take our steeple hands, index finger pointing up at the sky, feeling that sky energy, drawing it down through the crown of the head. Inhale, send it on down to our pelvic floor. Exhale, draw it in, send some joyful energy on upward. Beautiful. Release the hands. As we twist over towards the right, we're going to take the fingertips to the floor. Feeling a gentle twist here, starting out gently. Again, shifting the tides gently. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, over to the left. Bring your gaze with your sternum. One more time through center, following the path of that breath and coiling around your center. So wrap yourself around that center bright light. And then inhale again, other side. And then inhale on up. Take our wingspan down, feeling the lift of our spine as we send the fingertips down to the floor. And rotate through the shoulders as we take our wings up and down. Feeling the lightness, so we can float, but we can anchor at the same time. And then drop the fingers to the floor, take the thumbs forward and the fingertips back. As you inhale, expand towards each shoulder to shoulder from the center of those collarbones. And exhale, draw the energy in again. As we turn the head over to the right. And then following your breath over to the left. And then back to center so we don't have to go extreme. Try right and left again. So we can visit that concept of not going to the full extreme of movement, but just the midline, or just a little bit almost there. And then back. Look on up to the sky gently with the heart in the eyes and the third eye expansion energy from our endless blue sky. And then take the chin down to the jugular notch there, looking down at the heart. Toning through our throat energy as we drop the effort, and just feel the length in the back of the neck and the chin tucking. Use your inhale to float that chin back on up. Look over your right shoulder. And then reach for the right shoulder with your chin, pressing through the fingertips. And trace that line on in towards the center along the collarbone. And then look on up. Neutral gaze. Again, let's, as we breathe here, take a breath here, just noticing those three little hammocks of energy. Base of the pelvis, base of the diaphragm, base of the throat. And exhale, let's look over towards the left, supporting the movement with our breath, reaching for that left shoulder with your chin, and seeing if you can trace that line in towards the middle of our collarbones, across that left collarbone. And then look down, bringing up to neutral gaze. Since we're taking those gazes, the gaze right and left, let's just warm up those hands again and warm the eyes. And take those palms to the eyes, feeling that warmth that you can create. And calming our nervous system. Align with your breath, align those energy centers, and then drop the hands. And reach behind you. Clasp the fingers together. And reach on back so we really broaden across the heart, bring in the joy. And then we're going to switch the hands on up to the sky, reaching, lengthening. So here we're going to take a long side bend, but again, we're going to really anchor through that left hip. So take your right hand to the left hip and anchor there with your hand. Just feel it pressing towards the thigh and lean on over towards the left. And so we're keeping stable through that connecting point of the ribs to the pelvis. Eardrops to the right. And then sweep on up, both arms up again. Find the evenness through your breath. Exhale, let's take the left hand down to the right thigh and right at that hip crease. Anchor it there, press down, and lean on over towards the left. And then back on up. So we're taking that long side bend, but not so long. Reach the arms up, palms forward. Let's take it to cactus hands. Inhale. Exhale, with those elbows at shoulder height, we're going to drop our arms down. We haven't done that laundry on the line in a while. Hang it down, releasing through the elbows. And then bring it on up. Thumbs behind you, pinkies up. We're not supposed to put the pinkies up when we drink tea, but it's okay right here. And then come on back up, palms forward, drop it down, hang the laundry. Yes, I see the laundries out there. And then come on back up. Thumbs back, pinkies up. And then bring your palms forward. Actually, let's bring the thumbs behind us again, and we're going to close those forearms in front, pressing the forearms together, the hands together. Inhale and lift on up towards the sky, sending like an arrow, those forearms up until you really feel your limit here, not too close to anything uncomfortable. Just open up when you need to. Back to cactus, and we'll close again. Press forward, press together, lift up. And then this time, let's bring the elbows to the ribs. Just feel that openness we create when we have the palms up, thumbs turned out, and our ribs connecting with those elbows. Make sure when you exhale, we tuck in those low ribs. So you feel a nice posture created here. So nice. Beautiful. Let's drop the hands to the floor. We're going to take our cobbler pose. So if you are kneeling, adjust so that the sits bones are your anchor here. And even hips here, even sits bones here. We're gonna take our soles of the feet together as far forward as is comfortable for you. Not, if it's too close, that's and not comfortable for you, just take it out to where it's comfortable. And you're gonna take the hands to the shins and just use that leverage to align those points again. Inhale and exhale, and just notice the posture here, the opening of our rotation in those hips. Make sure those feet meet and greet each other. And then we want to hinge at the hip if we're going to lean forward, keeping the heart nice and tall. You can take a lean forward and then back to vertical. And we can do that back and forth very gently, again, not to the limit. We're kind of seeing a mild tidal shift here in the movement. Back and forward, back to vertical and forward with the breath. Inhale and exhale. Lovely. Now I encourage you to join me in this next position with the legs. We're going to take the knees together and we're going to fold the left leg in front and make sure that you're on the edge of that cushion. We're going to take the right leg out to the right, straightened position here. So if this, hopefully this works for everyone, and your knees, feel free to adjust as necessary. If you have a strap nearby, you can take that as part of your practice here. First, let's find ourselves even on the cushion or blanket. Take the fist beside you, and with those strong arms, lift yourself up, and then place yourself down again. And just feel that carpenter's level between the sits bones. Beautiful. So we're just further opening through the hips here, gently, of course. So we're going to take the strap and check out your reins or lasso skills and see if you can catch the ball of your right foot. We're still going to be facing forward here. We're going to take our right hand to both of the sides of the strap and just feel, again, align those energy points here. And this is another nice long side bend. So we're going to turn towards our left knee. So you're going to shift that sternum and those energy points over towards the left. Hold on to the strap towards your right toes, but don't have to lean all the way over there. Anchor through the hips once again. Inhale. Exhale, lift that left arm up and keep that alignment as we lean over towards the right toes. Maybe walk your hand along that strap or just stay up, whatever is comfortable for you. We just want to lengthen that left side a little bit, anchoring through that left hip. Really filling up with refreshing, renewing breath. Feel free to take that left hand now to the left thigh, anchoring, and just leaning over towards those right toes, maybe looking up at the sky a little bit, feeling your heart tilt towards our heavens. And then come on back, take the strap, both sides in the left and the right hand. So we got the reins now, the ball of the foot, and we're going to adjust that position of our sternum towards the right toes. There you go. And you can probably feel some sensation in the hamstrings here as you press the ball of the foot into the strap. Pressing that, so use the hands where you need them to take that leverage and sit up tall. And if you're comfortable walking the hands forward and leaning, you can do that, or if you have a reason not to do that, it's perfectly okay. Let's make sure that left foot is connecting to the right thigh and we feel everything as one. And find yourself floating back up with the breath to our center. Nice. Now we're going to take that hand underneath, kindly underneath our right knee. And let's switch it up. So we fold the right leg in front. And now, as with, I've noticed that it's really different on the side. My knee wants to be up. So feel free to cushion with a block or anything like that. We're taking the left leg straight out towards the left, or whatever position of that leg is comfortable. Again, no pushing, no striding. Let's find those cushions. Let's find the cushion and find the sits bones even. The fists down, lift up, and find that anchor again. And find that level, right to left. Lovely. All right, let's take that strap. Check those lasso skills towards the left ball of the foot. Left hand takes both sides of the strap. And then we find we can take our hand to the heart even and just turn it slightly towards the right knee. Yes, we're going to take a luxurious side bend here. Lift that right arm up skyward and just lean towards the left toes. And if you want to take that right hand to the right thigh, feeling that extra support of anchoring, you can do that. Try to release strain in the neck, strain in the face. And then lift on up through your inhale. And then hug that midline. Grab those reins of the strap, right and left, as you turn slightly towards those left toes. And then find your alignment first. So base of pelvis, diaphragm, base of throat. Inhale, keep those shoulders broad, and maybe walk the hands forward if you want to. Lean, crease at the left hip, and exhale. Right foot connecting to the left thigh, so we feel that touch point. We want to keep that heart tall. We're not hunching, we're unhunching. Come on back up. And find your center, around back to the facing forward. Beautiful. Take that strap over to the side, support the left knee as you come out of the fold here, and then support the right knee as you lift it up. And we're going to shift over so that we have both legs open evenly to whatever width you'd like. So we're doing those V legs. Inhale, find that alignment. Take the fingertips in front of you. Pull the fingertips towards the body. Again, more leverage to keep our posture tall. Walk the hands forward and hinging at the hips. So we'll even things out here. And see if that inhale can lengthen that connection from the ribs to the pelvis while you're anchoring it down. And exhale, feeling that rising up towards the crown of the head. When you're ready, you can just walk back to center. And then draw both knees upward and inward, supporting with your hands as we shift towards tabletop and cushion our shins. Let's see. Find the position about 3/4 of the way down the mat. Lovely. So shifting to our tabletop sequence here, finding our strength in this horizontal. Great. So let's align and find those points. We're horizontal, so it takes a little bit of thinking as we visit the base of the pelvis in our tabletop. Inhaling, just in your mind's eye, close the eyes, go to that base. And then we'll exhale. And next inhale, go to the base of the ribs. Maybe lift the back of the ribs towards the sky a little bit. Feel the navel toning in and those abdominals engage.
Exhaling, and as we inhale again, let's find the base of the throat. So we lengthen the back of the neck. And as you exhale, draw the shoulders away from the ears towards the ribs. Hug on in as if you're squeezing a magazine under your armpit. You feel the stability here. Yes, nice and stable from our tabletop. So now we can go into a cat or a cow because we have our midline to draw from. So upward in the cat, inhale with the arching spine upward, drop the tailbone. Try not to go to the full extreme today, just kind of checking out what it's like to back off of the extreme, and exhale into cow. Of a baby cat and a baby cow. Very nice. And then come on back. Find those points aligning again, especially lifting up a little through those back ribs. Often they want to cave and go towards the floor. So from here, we're going to shift things up so we come into a low lunge from the tabletop framework. So we've got that nice connection between the shoulders and the hips. Inhale, exhale. You're going to draw that right knee forward towards the right hand, curl the toes under on the right, and tiptoe forward or grab your ankle and bring that foot to the floor. And while we're at it, let's admire those toes. Lift them off the floor, spread the toes away from each other, and then they'll find those toe pads down on the mat. So let's visit the feet, four corners, big toe mound, little toe mound, inner heel and outer heel. From here, let's take the fingertips to the floor. We're squaring off the hips and keeping that stability there. Pull back with your fingertips towards the back of the mat and come into a flat back. Lots of right angles here. And a stability through the core. Another breath here, finding that base of the pelvis, drawing and contracting inward towards the crown of the head. So you're going to already feel this hip opening, right? Just that right hip, maybe a little communication going on there. Bring your right hand inside of right foot if that's good for you. And we'll just shift over slightly as the ribs come a little bit more towards the floor and we open up through that right hip. As you exhale, feel the back shin and the front foot draw together. They never forget each other. They're just connecting there. Take the left hand to the floor, right hand to the heart. Keep the framework nice and steady as we open up a twist to the left, to the right. Sorry, to the right with the left hand down. Expansion across the collarbones, looking up at the sky, bring the good stuff in, past the heart and back on the other side of the right leg, right foot there. So we're going to come up to vertical, stepping strong through your right foot and pressing through the back shin. We're going to take our hand to the right thigh and then come on up to vertical here. Stack it up, building blocks, building the tower nice and strong, pressing through your left foot, top of left foot on the floor. You're going to notice that opening through the front body and especially the front leg, the front of the left thigh. Lift your left arm up to the sky, keeping that right hand on the hip. And we're going to lean over towards our right. Lengthening from the anchor of the hips. And then sweep it on back up. Let's bring both arms up to the sky, evening things out. And then swan dive, wingspan around the front foot. So we're going to turn this into a crescent lunge by inching our back foot back and the knee down a little further back. And the front foot might creep a little forward. So we're lengthening through the back leg. So it's not straightening out, it's just lengthening. So we're in that same supported position with our hands around the front foot. And then we're going to take our hands to the thigh with our
hips pushed slightly forward here to really pull us into, to bring us into crescent moon pose. Pressing that back foot into the floor, feel free to lift those arms skyward. And let's see if we can stack up those little energy centers or big energy centers here. Hips, ribs, and base of the throat as we look forward. Beautiful. Dive down around that front foot and gently draw that leg back. Let's take the knees wide and slide the hips back to the heels, or simply take the arms forward, forehead on the floor, so that you're 90-degree thigh to the floor. Just taking care of those knees out there. Forehead to the floor. Let's take a break in child's pose. Exhale. So in this child's pose, let's focus on the third eye. Just close the eyes. Come into that third eye space. You can visualize, begin to bring into your practice the joy of being somewhere that you just, your favorite place. The favorite place, whatever that the qualities of it are, the visualization, all of the colors. Breathing in the sounds, music to your ears, whatever that sound is, and the smells, and the surrounding, just what it feels like. So let's bring that joy into our practice, into our bodies. And then curl on up through a cat pose, bringing those knees back to hip width apart, finding that horizontal. Exhale. We're going to do the other side. So we're going to draw the left knee forward and tiptoe that left foot forward. Support your ankle, bringing that forward into our squared off low lunge. And feeling the hips align with each other on that horizontal plane. We're going to lengthen the spine, this lovely yoga trick. If we take the fingertips to the floor, pull back towards the back of the mat, and then you can feel that lengthening into the horizontal back. Lovely. And then we're going to walk the left hand inside the left foot, or you can stay the other side. It's fine. That's fine too. Just using the breath here, drawing the back shin towards the left foot. Energize them together. There's just gentle magnets pulling them together. Inhale, left hand to left heart. Let's open it up towards the right side. Twist with the right hand on the floor over to the left. Did I say right? I meant left. I don't know what is with me today. Open up to the left. Beautiful. Come on back, slide across our hearts, and then back to the both hands around the front foot. Great. Let's make it vertical. Lift on up through an inhale. Let's really inhale into that back body as you come on up to a squared off high lunge here. Finding the breath will always draw us back to that vertical center. Hug in. Nice. Take your left hand to the left hip, right hand up to the sky. Press through the back foot, the top of your right foot into the floor. And you'll feel the length already as we lean on over towards the left, but keeping our right hip nice and steady. Ease through the neck, so we keep that flow through the spine, through the crown of the head. Come on back, reaching both arms as if you have reaching for a beautiful bubble of positive energy between your hands. And then wingspan it out, expand, and then around the front foot. We're going to adjust so that we expand this into a crescent pose. Walk the left foot forward, scooch that shin back a little bit in the back.
We want the top of the foot on the mat in the back here as well. Just shifting the hips slightly forward, hand on front thigh, keeping that knee aligned in the front, center of the foot. Pressing through that back foot is definitely going to find the anchor you need. Inhale the arms up, steeple hands. Stack up the blocks. Hug the center and the midline. And then exhale, swan dive again around the front foot. Great job with those hip openers. Let's draw our left knee back very gently. Widen the knees, big toes together. Slide on back. Forehead to the floor. Just slide the hips side to side, keeping that comfort in the hips. Ah, nice. Let's slide forward on our forearms and just find ourselves in a gentle face down position with our arms at the next to the ears, and we're going to take prayer position of our hands, linking the thumbs above the head. And just lengthen out here because we're dealing with that longer muscle, lengthening muscle of the Quadratus lumborum. Let's reach the fingertips and point the toes and just feel the body's an arrow. And the breath is part of that direction. Same concept, pulling towards the center on the exhale. Another 2 rounds of breath here. Excellent. Let's slide the hands next to the shoulders. And right now we're going to just come on up. So however you'd like to come towards tabletop and down dog. We're going to bring the knees towards tabletop, hands towards the top of the mat. And we'll start to just flow right into a down dog where we're pedaling the feet to get heels down, right and left, straightening the legs. So active down dog here. Let the inhale lengthen your spine and let the exhale find your base. Nice. Relax the face and the neck. And then we're going to bend the knees, walk the hands towards the feet, move that blanket aside while you're at it. Nice. And then we'll take our hands to the floor, fingertips to the floor, inhale into a flat back, keeping the thighs and ribs connected. And then hands at that hinge point of the hips as we come on up to standing. Ease through the knees as you come on up. Excellent. Let's stand in mountain, feeling that stillness of our strong stance. As we exhale, we'll feel those legs connect together to the midline, hands on hips. We want that alignment so that the pubic bone there is in line with the hip bones, and we kind of have a flatter surface there. So we're not arching too far forward or tucking too far back. Let's stack everything up, low ribs, diaphragm, and then draw the shoulders away from the ears, base of the neck. Feel the freedom, feel the strength. Excellent. We're going to step forward with our left foot and come into a high lunge on this side. So we're going to alternate between a high lunge and some wider stance poses, and then also some warrior 1. But we're going to start with the high lunge. So curl the back toes under, left toes pointing forward, and then begin to bend the left knee, keeping it aligned behind the middle 2 toes, and drop the hips, keeping that stability, hips to ribs to shoulders. Straighten the back leg, reach through that back heel. Yes. And we can take a right arm up and do a little bit lean to the left, just very
little tide shift there to the left. And then lift on back. Both arms up. High lunge, come into prayer position above the head. Feel the joy. Bring that joy that you feel when you focus on that happy, joyful place. And then sweep the arms to the hips, hands to the hips, tiptoe forward into mountain. And then turn and face the long side of the mat, and we'll take ourselves into a wide stance. And we're going to take a side angle pose over to this side. Align the right heel with the back left arch. Feel the hands on the hips, just guiding those hips forward. We're working on this plane now, as if there's a window, beautiful window in front of us, keeping us connected and aligned forward. We're going to drop the hips as we bend the right knee towards those toes. Be sure to check with your eyes there, making sure it's aligned. Nice. And we're going to take the hands to the thigh crease just so we can feel that length out of the spine. Strong base, stay steady as we lean the middle and upper spine over the right thigh, right elbow to right thigh. So you guessed it, side angle pose, lengthen on our left side. But even as you lengthen from the left foot to the left hand, notice some evenness on the right side. So you're still drawing and reaching out on the right side as well of those ribs. And take the left palm towards the back of the room. Use the breath to align, connect, and then sweep the left arm up. Straighten that right leg and bring the toes to parallel. And we're going to switch to the other side. So heel toe in. Step to the other side of the mat. So from here, we're going to do that an opposite entry to our high lunge. We're going to take the left leg back and bend that front knee. Hands on hips to a high lunge. Take the width you need to for your feet, but always draw them together on the exhale. Wrapping yourself around the center, arms up towards the sky, prayer position. Recognizing our strength that we build together and the flexibility. I think I did a lean on the other side, so let's lean, take the right hand to the right thigh, lean on over to the right, lengthening, and then back on up, positive ball of energy above you, back to prayer position. And then sweep the arms out, tiptoe forward to mountain pose. Let's step and face forward, keeping everything aligned. And we're going to step the feet out to wide stance. Left toes go out to the left. Align with that right arch. Inhale. Feel that lengthen the pelvis. Exhale, draw it all in. Just feel the energy in your hands. Drawing into the center. Exhale, left knee bends, and we drop that energy down, connecting to our roots. Lovely. From here, keeping everything long and even, we're going to hinge at the left hip, left elbow to left thigh, sweeping the right arm next to right ear. Taking that right palm back so we feel the coiling of energy towards all the way down to the shoulder. Keeping our hearts lovely, open energy. And then sweep the right arm up, keeping that knee bent, and then straighten it, flow right into that. Now we're going to heel toe in, and walk to the other side of the mat. And we're going to step our right leg back. So we're coming into, it's really similar to high lunge, but it's warrior one. So we angle our back foot about 45 degrees, 30 to 45 degrees, and we guide the hips out towards this left side of the mat. So you might have to guide the hips, no force here, just feel that energy turning towards the left, even if you don't quite have, you don't have to square them off exactly. Bend that left knee towards the middle two toes. Just notice the difference here between the high lunge and that reach that we create in our back leg on warrior one. Inhale, arms up to the sky, really keep them as if they had a block in between them. So we're feeling that strength into the center. Warrior energy. We're flexible, powerful, grounded, and ready. And then bend that left knee, hands to hips. We're going to swivel out so we have our toes parallel, and then we're going to change to the other side. I'm going to suggest a little pause that we take a block and place it over on our right side of the mat. So we can do a triangle here. And with the right toes out to the right. And we got that proud warrior stance, ready to steady. Hands on hips. So we're going to take that same hinging, but keeping that right leg straight. Engage the quad, and then lean on over, taking your right hand down to that block. Left thumb comes to the armpit, and we lengthen there again, and lift the left arm to the sky. Connecting those feet, keeping the spine long, those muscles nice and long. And then reach for the sky, come on back up. We're going to shift our feet to be parallel and heel toe in, walking ourselves over to the other side. In the meantime, take that block and place it to that back of the mat. So this time we're going to step our left leg back and take that warrior one. So we're just kind of playing that, alternating between the poses, noticing as we move that we can keep that awareness of our center, and keep those energy centers in a good, strong posture. So angling that back foot, warrior one, inhale the arms up to the sky, balance that block, imaginary block between the hands. Shoulders away from the ears. And then come on up by straightening that right leg. And bring yourself into parallel toes, and then left toes point right over to the other side in proud warrior stance, or with a straight left leg. Adjust that block as we bow right into triangle. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, ease over into triangle. Taking the hand down on the shin or the block, lift that right arm to the sky. Still feeling the even length right and left. And the next inhale draws you up. Beautiful. Heel toe back to center. And notice that's a rotation of hips, not just kind of funny through the knees, but actually supporting it with your hip flow. We'll take that block over to the side and we'll get ourselves down towards the earth again. Base of the mat, sweep the arms up. And we're gonna wingspan it out, hinging at our hips and bending the knees, walking the hands out. We'll take our knees down to a nice gentle knee plank, drawing those shoulders towards the ribs. We're going to come down. You can take a tiny push-up down here. You can ease yourself down to the mat however you want to come face down on the mat. Elbows to ribs,
And then we're going to find ourselves reaching out again, lengthening with the forehead down on the mat, tops of the feet. Find that anchor. We point the tailbone towards the heels and draw the hands back to the shoulders. 3 baby cobras. Pull back the energy with your hands so you feel you're kind of growing away from the hips, those anchored hips on the floor. Nice breath work. We're going to come over onto our back and our strap handy. Let's take a flowing twist with the strap. Bend the knees, bring them into a bridge prep. We'll take actually the strap on the side for a moment as we just take one bridge pose, bringing the back fingers to the back of the heels, pressing the full length of your arms into the mat. Find that center point here. Let's keep the hips and the shoulders connected as we lift this bridge up, just nice and like a plank, lifting it up. Ah, nice. Holding here. Oxygenating in this diagonal for our spine. Bringing in the good stuff. Let's bring that bridge down and then inhale the right knee towards the chest. Take the strap around the ball of the foot and we'll send it skyward. Straight right leg. Find your angle. Just feel the sensations here in our hamstrings. Feel free to take your knee and your toes a little bit over to the right and the left, kind of driving it with the reins of the strap. Gently creating that tilt. Exhale, find our center. We're going to step through our left foot over onto our left side, bending that left knee to a right angle, hands, left hand on the strap, pressing through the ball of the foot. Our pelvis is 90 degrees to the floor as we anchor through that pelvis. Keep it steady as your right hand comes to the heart and the elbow to the sky, and we're going to open up that wingspan, coming back to that beautiful, expansive sky above us, or look over the right shoulder. And then sweeping that right hand across the sky, find the strap. Come on up, back on up. Stretching that, holding in this straightened position for another breath. We've created that flow in the right leg. Let's bend the knee, bring the foot down, inhale the left knee towards you. And let's lasso that ball of the foot on the left side and send that skyward at your chosen angle. And then we'll take that steering of our toes and knee, rotating through the left hip with that strap support. So this might send that little buzzing up the back of the legs. And then take the strap, both sides in the left hand, stepping through the right foot. Send yourself over onto the right side. Continue to press through the ball of the foot on that strap.
bending the right knee to that right angle. Right hand on the strap. Notice the angle of your pelvis towards the floor, left hand to the heart, and elbow to the sky. And we open up. Looking on over the left side. We take this twist on up towards the crown of the head. With your next exhale, take the left hand up towards the sky, back to that strap, and guide that left leg up. Oh, so nice. Bend the knee and ease that down to the floor. And we're going to straighten out our legs, kind of just noticing. Wow, we've created that energy flow to the back of the legs, down to the heels, from the hips. I hope you feel more of a whole body experience now that we've flowed through our practice. Allow the feet to flop out to the side. We still have our landmarks of that base of pelvis, diaphragm, base of throat, crown of head. Aligning our breath, closing the eyes. As we support the body with the breath, let's come to that third eye. Allow the practice to fully enter the body by following your breath to this beautiful visualization of your favorite place, sights around you, the sounds. Smells. Sensation, then notice the spiritual shift it creates to dwell on that visualization. Notice the effect on the body. We can affect the breath to invite in this joy and beauty. Clean energy. Send a whole body breath for your mind, for your spirit, for your body. And all of them combined as one beautiful force. Wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, the wrists, elbows bend, knees bend. We roll onto the right side, lifting with the help of our hands up to seated. Continue to care for yourselves. And thank you so much for joining me in the practice today. Namaste.